a boon which is a Vashikarana mantra. Call upon any god and they will be forced to give you something. Within a blink of an eye, Surya comes down. You and I need to unite. A child so bright and radiant, the world will look upon it. Kripacharya is stunned. Who are you? What lineage are you from? What kingdom do you belong to? Who is your father? Teasing him, mocking him, taunting him, saying that you son of a... Welcome to Mahabharata Dialogues. My name is Abhilash and you are watching the series on Karna. In this, we will talk about the birth of Karna and how he goes on to become the Angaraja. Kunti is the mother. But before she was the mother of Karna, she was the daughter of Kunti Bhoja, whose palace had a visitor called Durvasa, a Rishi, known so much for his anger and feisty nature that people wouldn't cross his path. This Durvasa comes to Kunti Bhoja's palace and asks to be taken care of. Kunti Bhoja sets up his young daughter Kunti to take care of him, and she takes care of this sage for an entire year. And this man, who is known to find faults when there are none, is unable to find a single fault with Kunti. He then says to her, I want to give you a boon which is a Vashikarana mantra, or a mantra that can control any being. Call upon any god and they will be forced to give you something. Kunti does not ask what that something is, Durvasa does not elaborate, and he goes away. One fine day, even as she is a teenager, she is curious and looks up at Surya, the sun god, and says that mantra. Within a blink of an eye, Surya comes down from his celestial abode. In fact, Surya is split into two. One half of it is completely under control of Kunti. And he says to Kunti, you and I need to unite and you are going to have a child so bright and radiant, the world will look upon it. Kunti did not bargain for this. She is out of ideal curiosity. Kunti had just summoned Surya to see what the mantra does. But Surya was adamant. Once called upon, there was no choice but to have this child. So in spite of her reluctance, Kunti goes on to have that child with Surya. The child is born radiant as promised, covered in golden armors and beautiful earrings, and Kunti knows not what to do with it. She takes that child, puts it in a wicker basket, and floats it on river Ganga. She prays to river Ganga and says, Mother, take care of this child. Do not let it die. The irony of this is not lost on some people. Ganga, who has herself caused the death of 7 of her own children, now has made a promise to take care of this child. She floats the wicker basket up to the bank where a charioteer, Adhiratha, and his wife, Radha, are praying Mother Ganga for a child. The basket arrives. They consider this a gift of the goddess Ganga herself. And as they open the covers and look into to find a child in it, they see a beautiful child covered in gold. They call him Vasushena, which literally translates to one born to riches or covered in gold. This boy Vasushena grows up in the family of charioteers, learns everything that a charioteer or a sarathi is supposed to learn. In fact, goes on to learn Dharurveda or archery from Guru Drona, but Drona obviously refuses to teach him everything. He does not teach everything to people who are not Kshatriyas or princes. One day, Karna hears about a showcase of arms organized by Kripacharya. All the Pandavas and Kauravas are expected to showcase how much they have learned. Karna cannot contain himself and goes into that arena. And as everyone is singing the praises of Arjuna, he cannot hold himself back and he steps out of the crowd. And from then, he starts showcasing that not only can he do everything that Arjuna can, in fact, he can do more than Arjuna. Kripacharya is stunned. So is everybody else. The Acharya approaches Karna and asks him, Boy, who are you? What lineage are you from? What kingdom do you belong to? Who is your father? Karna has no answers for it. Instead, he starts quarreling with Kripacharya and says, how does it matter what lineage I am from? You should ask me how good I am at arms. This goes on for a while, a ruckus is created, and ultimately, Karna has no choice but to start walking away. As he does that, his father, Charioteer Adhiratha, walks out of the crowd and Karna falls at his feet. This is all that Bhima needed. He looks at it and starts teasing him, mocking him, taunting him, saying that you son of a charioteer, you thought you'll compete with us? Duryodhana can no longer control this. He walks up to Karna, takes the crown from off his head, puts it on Karna's head, and pours water as Abhisheka and says, if a kingdom is all that is needed to make him king and worthy of competing with us princess, today I declare Karna is the king of Anga. Now one can question, did Duryodhana even have a right to crown somebody else a king? He was not a king himself, he was but a prince. One can also question, was there any ill motive that Duryodhana had in befriending Karna? None of that matters. But at the end of the day, when the showcase of arms was done in the arena, two groups were clearly formed. Arjuna, praised by half the people, walked on this side, and Karna, praised by the other half, walked hand in hand with Duryodhana. This rivalry was established today between Karna and Arjuna, and it would come to a head soon. In all of this, nobody notices. Way up in the arena, sitting where the women, the queens, and the princesses are sitting, a woman, Kunti, faints because she had recognized that this was Karna from the earrings that he wore and the golden armor that adorned him.